Old Trafford, and a match on which their entire season's work hinges. Who will get there to face Wigan next Saturday night? Well, no doubting who the Leeds supporters believe will make it to Old Trafford. But this one is quite simply too close to call. This is the Leeds side. Iestyn Harris at full-back, the captain. Leroy Rivett takes the place of Paul Sterling on the wing. Richard Blackmore, Brad Godden, Francis Cummins, the three-quarter line. Darryl Powell and Ryan Sheridan at half-back. And the forwards, Martin Masella is fit, so is Terry Newton. Darren Fleary alongside them in the front row. Adrian Morley and Anthony Farrell, big boost for Leeds that Morley is there. And the same must be said of Mark Glanville at loose forward. And on the bench, Graham Holroyd gets the chance. He might have turned the game last week against Wigan. Jamie Matthew, Marcus St Hilaire and Andy Hay, the coach, is Graham Murray. Now Saints unchanged for coach Sean McRae. Paul Aitchison at fullback. Chris Smith and Damien Smith, one centre-wing combination. Newlove and Sullivan, as they say, the dream ticket. Martin and Long at halfback. And the forwards, Julian O'Neill, Kieran Cunningham and Brett Goldspink. Chris Joynt, the captain, with Apollo Perolini in the second row. And Paul Sculthorpe is the loose forward. And on the bench, it's Carl Hammond, Paul Davidson, Vila Matautia and Paul Anderson. Coach is Sean McRae. This is the Leeds dressing room, and Leeds will enter this match as favourites purely and simply because they are enjoying home advantage. But I can tell you the bookmakers cannot split these two sides. This match started absolutely flat. There is nothing to choose between these two teams. The Saints, who believe they're on a roll all the way to Old Trafford. They are about to leave their dressing room here at Headingley. Welcome to Headingley, says the sign in their dressing room. Well, will there be a welcome? 14 tries in the two playoff games, emphasising Saints are one of the entertainers. Their Achilles heel, though, is 9 tries conceded. 19 clean breaks, they attack from anywhere. 38 missed tackles. Paul Sculthorpe has hit top form in the playoff, and so too has Julian O'Neill. His work rate is absolutely phenomenal. Chris Joynt leads Saints into the cauldron. A good section of their supporters have travelled here to cheer them, they hope, to the inaugural grand final, but it is a massive, massive match for the men from St Helens. The Leeds Rhinos, two tough battles behind them against Halifax and Wigan, and the statistics for them in this playoff series reflect the games that they have had. But Iestyn Harris and Adrian Morley and Terry Newton, a big boost that he is fit. Just 3 tries scored in the past 2 weeks, but they're much tighter in defence. 9 clean breaks, chances at a premium for them. 34 missed tackles. They can't afford to give Saints any chances like that. Darryl Powell keeps going and going, and so too does Iestyn Harris. But in the case of Powell, he's just like a bottle of wine in Steve-O's cellar back home. He gets better and better with age. Out comes Iestyn Harris and the Leeds Rhinos. Well, the bookies say nothing to choose. This match starts level pegging, they say. What say you, Steve-O?
Well, for once, I have to agree with the guys who lay the odds. It would be extremely difficult, but there is one man who could certainly turn it one way or the other. Harris, of course, we don't have to keep telling you the wonderful skills that he possesses, but he also does have a little bit of an Achilles heel in as much that the high bomb can sometimes confuse him. His skills, as I say, you cannot take away from him. And what a night for this fella. You talk about pressure for the players. There's a little bit for this merry whistleblower too.
Stuart Cummins, the coolest dude in the rugby league refereeing circles, and we'll just see how his pulse is racing here at Headingley. Well, this one sets the pulses racing. Leeds against Saints. Saints kick off. The prize is a place at Old Trafford next Saturday against the Wigan Warriors, and Leeds with the first use of the football. St Helens swarming downfield from their own kickoff, and Anthony Farrell struggles to his feet, plays the ball, and here comes Leeds, but here comes that St Helens defence, which they know must be tough early on here. Glanville will drive it in for the Leeds Rhinos. Terry Newton was the dummy half. Masella with the knee bandage. Good driving run from the Leeds prop forward. a scampering run to that halfway line.
Confident start there, and I'm sure that Graham Murray will be happy with this. But that's a good charge down. That'll be back to 6.
No, it's offside against the Leeds man. He was stood in an offside position when the kick came in.
Can't be put onside. He's already inside the 10.
Referee Stuart Cummings just explaining to Justin Harris that once it came off, I think it was Tommy Martin, then the man...
Oh, Saints haven't found touch with that penalty. What a mistake.
Well, that's ridiculous to start like that. That will not do anything for their nerves. But that defence will do quite a lot for the fella carrying the football, Adrian Morley.
Great tackle by Cunningham on Fleary.
A lot of doubt about the second rower, Morley. Is he fully fit? Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Powell to Farrell. Anthony Farrell straightens it up. O'Neill is there, but Farrell gets rid of it to Harris. Lovely ball from Harris out wide to Godden. Godden saw a gap, and it was a good job that Damien Smith was there. Sean McRae chewing the gum, the tension on his face as well as Sheridan finds Powell. Leeds rampant with Farrell up the middle. He gets to within 12 metres of the line. Newton to Sheridan. Sheridan on to Powell. He hangs on. Dabs the ball into the in-goal area. Could be a try. Could be a try for Leroy Rivett. He believes he scored. Stuart Cummings will hand it on to the video ref for clarification. But Leroy Rivett is in no doubts at all that he has got first blood here in this final to Leeds.
Beautiful kick by Daryl Powell. He was taken out after the kick. There's the impact. Well, it's hard to say whether he followed through, but I think that ball was well and truly away before the big hit came. This is it. Bang! And Tommy Martin did not miss his opposite number. Did Rivett get there? He certainly gets there first. Does he get it down? It's bobbling. It's no try for mine.
Well, that ball looks like it slipped through the fingers of Leroy Rivett.
Well, he was first there.
This is a massive call.
Well, I think he's lost it. He's had no control over that whatsoever. Well,
ball's gone.
That's a shame. It's a beautiful kick through, and the winger timed his run to perfection, completely confused Paul Aitchison. Well, they're taking all the angles, pressure all around, including the video referee. They're doing right to make sure they get this right, but I think you'll find it'll have an NO in front of the TRY. This is where he just loses it. No control, over the top of the fingertips. And it goes away. You have to be deemed to have full control of ground in the football, and I don't think that Rivett has done that.
Well, this is a massive call for the video ref early. Oh, the try is given to Leeds. Leroy Rivett gets the benefit of the doubt of the video referee. What Sean McRae will think about that and what the St Helens players and supporters will, I do not know, but Rivett gets the try.
Well, the video ref had so many angles to look at, but this has completely stunned me. It hasn't stunned the Leeds crowd. No way in the world, with all the slow motion replays, have I seen that Rivett gets full control of this. Not in a million years for mine, but it doesn't care what I think.
Well, I don't think he is terribly impressed with the decision either. He shook his head, and the conversation with his assistant, Mike Gregory, continues. But now Justin Harris has to settle his nerve, because all the controversy will rage around that in the days ahead. Right now, it's all about this conversion attempt. Oh, and Harris. What form has Harris been in 98? The Rugby League Writers Player of the Year, named this week, leads 6-0 up.
Quick play the ball, it leaves 4 defenders in that short area. They were always going to be in trouble. They tried to get across. Superb kick through by Powell. They took a big hit from Martin. But for mine, Leeds and Rivett are extremely fortunate to have been given this try. Controversial circumstances here at Headingley.
Julian O'Neill then leads with the golden start. 6 points ahead. What have St Helens got in response? Steve-o, that's the sort of decision that can make players' heads drop.
Well, we said before the kickoff that a lot of pressure on the referee Stuart Cummings is also that same pressure on the guy who was making the decision, the video referee, and I do not think we've heard the last of that. You saw the face on the Saints coach, Sean McRae. He was livid.
Well, I suppose it will either make the St Helens heads drop or will galvanise the spirit. We shall see. It's now with Martin, and left-footed, he hammers the ball downfield. Harris just shuttles across. The ball does deceive the Leeds captain, but now he gets it, but the chase is good. Joint and Newlove leading the charge.
Good kick and chase there, but you must credit Leeds. Okay, it was controversial, a bit high from Perellini. It was controversial, that try, but you can't take anything away from the fact, you see Perellini going over the top and prevent the try scorer. But their build-up was quite superb. 5 quick play the balls, good position. You could see how Powell had positioned himself out wide, and it was a superb kick.
Yes, it was, but that doesn't mean that the ball doesn't have to be grounded. But in the video referee's view, it was, and that's why Leeds have a 6-point advantage. And this is Masella on the charge now.
It's important for Saints to just push that to one side now, get back into the swing of things. It is a big shock.
That was a great little run from Powell, a wonderful tackle too on him by, I think it was Julian O'Neill. But now Leeds, Ryan Sheridan. Sheridan busy at half-back, takes the tackle from Goldsby. Harris just looked then to see where he was in relation to the try line. Dances away from one tackle. Beautiful reverse pass. Powell again keeps it moving to Fleary. Fleary, the angle is closed off for him. This is Morley. And Morley will attack again, losing the ball. It was on the last tackle. He had to try something. And Joint picks up, but gets a big hit from Farrell for his pains.
They're running hot at Leeds. They're keeping this ball alive. They're offloading in the tackle, and the defence is pretty solid. Leading the way yet again, Mark Glanville. There's the incident where they tried to offload the football. It really is paying off for Leeds, but the ability to play the ball quickly. The Saints defence, they are very slow to get themselves sorted out, especially around the play-the-ball area.
Offloads 4-0 to the Leeds Rhinos, who are ahead by 6 points to 0 on the scoreboard. This now is Paul Newlove trying to get away from Blackmore. Blackmore does his job. Just delays for a second or two longer as well. Good run from Scuffles, halted by the challenge from Rivette.
Be a big battle between the two Saints, Richie Blackmore and of course Paul Newlove.
The kick downfield from Tommy Martin. But the crowd here at the South Stand, I think they believe they saw a knee raised by Scuffles.
Well, it was just before that. And you can see how he brought the knee across. Well, didn't make contact. Perhaps just trying to clear the ruck so he could play the football. Well, plenty of action here, plenty of tension. We expected it.
Well, the Saints looking to emulate Canterbury down under, who went to the grand final there from 9th, and Featherstone from 4th in the Division 1 event, to make it all the way to Old Trafford. But Sean McRae and Mike Gregory knows that their effort tonight couldn't have got off to a worse start. 7.5 minutes gone, controversy raging around Headingley.
Interested in, say, there a couple of moments ago, Tommy Martin put on a big hit on Easton Harris, the Leeds skipper. They realise this man is all danger. Harris, they cannot afford to give him room to move.
Well, this match coming at the end of Graham Murray's most crucial week in charge of the Leeds Rhinos as he mended his broken bodies out there. Blackmore, one of them, who attracts the attention here of 3 defenders. Quick play the ball, Newton on to Sheridan. Sheridan then to Harris, clips it over the top, Harris, and it bounces kindly for Aitchison. And the St Helens fullback is trapped by a good chase downfield, led by Mark Glanville, another of the injury doubts for Leeds this week. But my word, the physios of Graham Murray have done an outstanding job in getting the team back to peak fitness for this. Sullivan offloads, that went backwards, it's play on. Cunningham was first to react. Oh, he tries to run all over Sheridan, and then he lost the ball.
He definitely lost it as well. Cunningham tried to utilise the arm to push off the would-be tackle, which is Sheridan, and lost control. This would be Leeds head and feed. It was a one-on-one situation.
So Leeds with the feet at the scrum. Sheridan gets the possession, finds Darryl Powell. Here now is St Helens. He cuts inside Martin. Beautiful sidestep, but well done. Paul Aitchison never played properly, but he was all over him. The St Helens defender. Leeds have another penalty, and this is in kicking range for Harris.
Interesting there that the referee, Stuart Cummings, didn't allow the advantage. You can see that Darryl Powell, well, he lost it completely. That's perhaps the reason why, because it was not a proper play the ball by St Harris. So therefore, he deemed it not being any advantage at all. But they will take the 2 points on offer, I am sure of that. At a 6-0 lead, these are 2 vital points early in any match, never mind a sudden death.
Don't think Sean McRae at this moment will be believing that the rub of the green is going St Helens' way. Leeds have completed a couple of big wins over the Saints in the weekly rounds. 31-18 at St Helens, 37-18 here, both a touch flattering. But with 10 minutes on the watch now, Leeds have the opportunity to build an 8-0 advantage, and that could be crucial in this eliminator. Harris gets another. 2 more points. 8-0. Leeds are ahead.
Crowd going ecstatic here, and why not? They really are up for this one, so are the players. It's been a wonderful start, albeit with a touch of lady luck on their side with that first try. But St Harris, no nerves there. Punched that ball right through the uprights for a vital 2.
Well, it was 13-12 here to the Leeds Rhinos last year. 37-18 last month, as I say. Great start here for the Rhinos. And another penalty.
The man was taken out from the kickoff. Man not carrying the football.
This is in kicking range again.
Well spotted by the referee, Stuart Cummings. It was a short kickoff. It's a ploy that they've utilised quite a lot this season, Leeds. And you'll see that as a big fella took it away, it was in back play out of your picture there that one of the Leeds players was taken well and truly out of the play. Yes, you can see it there.
I think it was Godden who took a tumble. Just trying to identify who the player was. Was it Tommy Martin or Damien Smith or Paul Scuffles?
Well, it's one of the Saints players anyway, Eddie. Either way, another opportunity for this fella.
Well, 2 from 2, and this really is like taking candies off a baby for St Harris. In fine form with the boot all year, and 2 more points here on offer. And crowd reaction will tell you, and the flags will confirm, and Ronnie's dance adds to the confirmation that Leeds have built a 10-0 lead.
Well, it certainly would be pleasing the Leeds coach, Graham Murray. And you could see there that, yes, it was Sculthorpe that took out the centre Godden, and it was well spotted by the official. And that, yet again, could be another vital penalty, another vital 2 points. But I was just saying, Graham Murray, the Leeds coach, if you want to start with a game plan, and after 12 minutes have 10 points on the board and a 10-point lead, you'll be quite happy. Goldspink
Will drive it in again, but Masella and Darryl Powell, who has done a wonderful job for Leeds this year. Number 13 on his back, stand-off half during this run in the playoffs. And doesn't he add something to the Leeds side? Perolini takes a tumble, challenge from Fleary and Masella again. Here now is Newlove, and they're watching him like a hawk. Newlove, though, gets the ball away to Long. And Long now tries to skip through the Leeds defence. A little bit of pace injected by Long. But Blackmore gets to him.
Good play there by Saints, instigated by the hooker Kieran Cunningham.
That could have been a penalty to St Helens because Long was being held down by Blackmore. Big kick out wide. Oh, they've made a meal of it. It's still loose, and this is going to be a St Helens try to Perolini. Saints have hit back. A huge bomb out wide, and the Leeds man missed it. Cummings, I think. And Perolini and a phalanx of St Helens players followed up, and Perolini touches down.
We said it was a problem for the Leeds side, and once again the high bomb. It could not be taken by Cummings. They made a real meal of it. Harris and Godden all involved there. What a shamozzle. Well, the rub of the green certainly come back. What on earth were they doing? Harris and Godden. Cummings made a meal of it to start with, but they didn't help matters when Godden and Harris just hang around. Were they onside? Here's a high shot. Yes, they were. You could just see the shadows out wide. What an awful mistake. Remember, the floodlights here at Headingley are the old style, high pylon right in the corner. Perolini won't mind. Leeds don't like it. The fans, that is, or the players. Saints are happy.
This is a big kick for Sean Long. This will confirm St Helens are back on track. He's missed it, and that will dent the confidence of the young man. Leeds 10, St Helens 4, and has Perolini scored a more vital try than that one? Maybe the one at London, Steve-O, in '96.
Well, it certainly will help matters. Interested to see. I could see the shadows out wide, and I think it's 50-50. Either way, it was a bad attempt by Cummings. And we keep saying it, but Godden and Harris made a real meal. They allowed the big fella, Perolini, to just twinkle-toe through, sidestep it, popped up for him nicely. Saints are back in this game.
They are, just a quarter of an hour gone, 10 points to 4. We thought it'd be pretty spectacular, and this has got all the makings of one of those classic Super League nights. Leroy Rivette is tackled by Newland. It was high, was it? No, the referee just waves the St Helens defensive line back the 10 metres.
Try convincing Leroy Rivette. He went looking there for Newlove. Quite a bit of chopping going out there.
Masala, oh, beautiful break. He gives it inside to Sheridan, and Sheridan trying to turn Aitchison, but Aitchison and Scuffles got to the halfback and hold him down. Bit of a messing around there as Sheridan tried to get back to his feet, but play on, says the referee. This is Godden, and Godden is pulled down by a beautiful tackle from Chris Smith. That's the last, that's the turnover. Saints are back in possession.
Big gamble there by the right winger, Chris Smith. Came off the touchline. He allowed Francis Cummings the opportunity out wide. If it would not have been a great tackle, then the opportunity for Godden to offload was there. Goldspink
driving the ball up. Wigan bound, of course. What would it be like for him next Saturday night if it is Saints against Wigan, to be playing against his future employer? This is Long, who came from Wigan. Oh, the ball bounced in front of Perolini, but he picked it up somehow, and there's space out wide here for Damien Smith. Back it goes into the arms of Chris Smith, and Chris Smith looking to unload, drops the pass, drops the ball, but Long has it.
It went backwards. It's A-OK.
Saints appealing and wanting 6 more, but the referee standing firm. Tommy Martin to his captain, Joint. Joint just ankle tapped by Glanville, finished off then by Terry Newton. Cunningham to Sculthorpe, a dab over the top, looking for Chris Smith, but not even Chris Smith is that fast.
Really well and truly back into this game. Sculthorpe on the blind side. You can see how the ball is twisting backwards. He did not get the bounce he wanted. Either way, 2 meters away from the try line, it was a good option. Tense times for Sean McRae there, but at least he knows that they have bounced back.
Here's Darryl Powell again. Offloads to Harris, and there's a bit of space for Harris. He was collared, scruffed to the ground by Tommy Martin. And now St Helens are all offside.
This is the biggest problem for Saints. Had to play the ball. Leeds are playing this ball so quickly. And you can see that the referee had no alternative but to give that. Good move there by Blackmore. Went straight at the St Helens defenders. And Sean McRae, the Saints coach, has got to get the message out that they've got to tighten up in the first and second markers.
Masella having a big game already. The Leeds prop forward, Martin Masella, has started 14 of the last 15 at prop. What a bonus for Graham Murray that's been. And here's Morley. He gets away. First time from Long. Has such strength, young Adrian Morley. Plays the ball to Powell. Leeds injecting pace again with Newton. Newton to within 3.5 metres of the line. St Helens again scragging to the floor. Harris gets away from one tackle. flicks it back into the arms of Farrell, onto Glanville, back to Blackmore. Leeds have lost ground, but they're still in possession, and Blackmore a wonderful run. Off one knee, up in the air, Powell. Terrific to fall, but the touch judges on. Damien Smith caught Powell very high. They pushed Leeds back 20 metres with that great defence, but then Damien Smith ruined it all with a high tackle.
But you can see Powell's head go well and truly back of the shoulders. Smith caught him fair and square, right in the face. Well, he'll be walking a thin line, and Damien Smith will be called to the official.
Stuart Cummings, remember, the man who sent Graham Bradley off in the very first playoff match. He then sent Paul Newlove off in that match. There has been much written and much said about that decision. Stuart Cummings this time allows Damien Smith to stay on the field. But
we'll sort him out first.
Iestyn Harris has elected to kick for goal, but meanwhile Darryl Powell will take some treatment from the physio.
Going for two.
Well, you could see Powell grab the back of his neck, mainly created by the whiplash from the impact. Just a little bit of a wink there to his colleagues, saying that he's fine, but Newton is also in a lot of trouble.
Yes, it's overtime here for Seamus McCallion, the Leeds physio. Lovely line in one of the papers today about Seamus McCallion. His wife is also a physio here, because they've been working round the clock to get these players fit for this elimination final. They had trouble finding a babysitter. Well, the marketing manager's mum went down, apparently, and looked after the kids, while Seamus McCallion and his wife got on with the job of patching up these Leeds players.
I should leave my number. Well, another important attempt here from the Leeds skipper.
Yes, this kick from Harris, if he converts, and 3 from 3 so far, will stretch the Leeds advantage back to 8 midway through this first half. Didn't score last week, Iestyn Harris, first time since the World Club Championship against North Queensland last year that he didn't get on the mark, and he's missed with that one. So it stays at 10 points to 4, but importantly from Leeds' point of view, he got the ball dead, so the Rhinos will get the ball back from this 20-metre dropout.
Bit of a relief there by St Helens that Harris just off key with that one.
First miss tonight. Harris will run this ball back. Now it's with Anthony Farrell. Incidentally, with 20 minutes of this match to go, we will be asking you again for your votes for the man of the match. And then after the game, we will be drawing out the name of the person who has won the VIP box at Old Trafford next Saturday night. And of course, tonight's winner will go into that draw, which will be done by John Money. So if you've been a winner with us on Super League Live this year with our man of the match competition, stay tuned, because you could be on the way to a VIP box as well as everything else. Holroyd has come on for Terry Newton. That was his first touch of the ball. This now is Leeds on the charge again with Powell, and it's back to 0. It is.
Well, he tried to offload the ball there, and the officials deemed that St Helens man played in the ball.
I think he's right too. Sheridan to Fleary. Fleary will drive it in. Now this is another tester here of this St Helens defence. Just 2 tackles gone. Plenty of time for Leeds. It's with Harris. Good long ball. Glanville! What a try! Did he get it down? Did Glanville get it down? The referee says he did. Chris Smith tried all he knew to keep Glanville on his back, but the big loose forward had too much strength for the little St Helens winger. And although he's got blood coming from the nose, Glanville touches down for a priceless try.
All came about, of course, when the referee went to 6 yet again. Definitely came off a Saint's hand. But you could see there, Anthony Farrell trying to offload. That was on the last tackle. Leeds had opted for the power play. But what a superb pass here by Harris. Bang, straight out of the way. Just went right through the tackle of Damien Smith. The Welsh wizard, long ball out wide. You can see that they just hesitated. Smith went far too high. Glanville says, get out of the way. No doubt about that. That's the reason why Cummings did not go to the video ref.
Well, a man who won a Premiership medal with Newcastle last year. He has put Leeds further down the road to Old Trafford with that try. And Harris now with a crowd hushed, waiting for this conversion attempt. Has he missed another? He has. Well, he started superbly. He's missed with his last two. 14-4.
Well, you see the sliding defence pretty tight. You see Glanville out wide. Snappy pass, bang. Used the dummy runner, but Smith went far too high. Not a man that scores regular tries, but they won't come more important than that to the big Australian loose forward, Mark Glanville.
Well, scoring a try, but last year he won the Tackle of the Year award in Australia for one on Craig Field of Manly. Not so much a tackle there, but a tackle he had to ride to score that 4 points. 14-4 then Leeds ahead, 24 minutes gone.
Well, the combination of this very solid Leeds defence with the fact that Leeds are playing this ball ultra quick, running from the dummy half, they are getting over that advantage line with considerable ease. And it must be worrying not only the Saints players, but their coach, Sean McRae.
Sean McRae now, of course, with a 10-point deficit, looking down the barrels of his last match in charge at St Helens, but he hopes it will go on a little longer yet. Big poof downfield into open space, and Damien Smith's leading the St Helens charge, but the ball beats everybody. Martin trying to get the kicking game going for St Helens.
Tremendous kick right across the field there, gave himself plenty of time. That's the way to do it, in between the winger and the full-back. It was ideal. He knows that the kicking tactics tonight will be so important. Now they will try to rally their defence, try to force the mistake. Leeds head and feed.
Well, Leeds coming into this match after two bruising affairs against Halifax and Wigan. Matches really that mirror the Aussie image of playoff football. 13-6 against Halifax. 17-4 they lost at Wigan. And that's a penalty to St Helens. The ball not played properly by the Leeds man. Blackmore not impressed with the decision.
It's a right decision as well. You'll see that once it's tackled, you're supposed to play the ball where it is, not move forward and then try to play the ball. You have to play it where you were tackled.
Julian O'Neill, Blackmore in with a thunderous challenge on him. Now he's forming back in the defensive line. This is Goldspink, and they pick out Goldspink like three Exocet missiles. Cunningham one way, then the other, finds Scuffles. Scuffles has to take the tackle 10 metres from the Leeds try line.
Masella was not going to be fooled. He knew that the ball was coming back in the side for the loose forward.
Quick hands by St Helens. Perolini then back to Goldspink. Goldspink finds Newlove. There's a bit of space for Newlove. He's taking on Blackmore. And the Great Britain international came off second best then to the big Kiwi. Sullivan to Long. Long takes control again. That's the last tackle for St Helens. Bang in front of the Leeds post. Gunningham to Tommy Martin. Martin dabbed it over the top. Almost it came off. Oh, and St Bernard holds his head in his hands. Joint was so close, and so was Martin.
Superb chip back towards the post. And Chris Joint was well and truly onside. It was a planned move. They've done it quite a few times this season. But Martin's kick was superb. Leeds were expecting the kick out wide to the wings. They were caught napping there.
Leeds will build again then. Glanville, their try scorer just a few minutes ago. Harris. Still Harris. Just over the halfway line. Powell to Holroyd. Kick into the corner. Big chase here for Cummings. Smith is there as well, and Chris Smith taking no chances.
That's why the kick and chase is so important. Apply the pressure. And as Eddie said, Chris Smith was having none of this. Superb chip. Right the way into the in-goal area. And Smith said, let's get out of here. Cummings was really bearing down upon him. More pressure,
Here we go.
but the tactics
Stay behind, fellas,
from
one,
Leeds, well, it has been superb in the opening 28 minutes.
Martin with the goal line dropout. 2 bounces into the arms of Morley. Ooh, Perolini on Morley. The ground shuddered then. Here's Masella. Another good run from Masella. How good's this fella so far tonight?
Again, we see them go over the advantage line.
Holroyd to Harris. Harris, another angled run. He's involved in everything.
They're toying with this Saints defence. Saints are backing off. They're not moving forward.
Anthony Farrell. O'Neill and Goldsmith getting to him. Sheridan will come down the short side with Harris. Blackmore. Blackmore stands, gets the pass away. Rivette. Little knock on. Saints have it back anyway.
Well, a golden opportunity missed there. Rivette just a little inch as a knock on there, but good work yet again by Blackmore. It was backwards. There was a knock on.
Just the tiniest one.
But look at this Leeds defence. They've got their sights on Old Trafford. Still plenty of time to go, though.
Yes, they want another crack at Wigan. It's 2-1 in the series to Leeds. And the big one next Saturday. But St Helens want to be there as well.
Superb offload by Kieran Cunningham then. Goldspink nearly through. Took a wonderful tackle from
what a tackle
Allroyd.
from Glanville then. Tackle from Glanville on Cunningham stopped him dead in his tracks. Long, angled kick again. Harris collects it. And Harris comes away from Newlove, then from Joint, and still, despite the attentions of Martin, flicks the pass to Blackmore. Blackmore with the strength to shrug off O'Neill. And O'Neill comes back for a second helping and gets him this time.
Wonderful attack, great defence also, but what a superb pass yet again from Houston Harris.
Leeds on halfway, play the ball to Sheridan. This now is Farrell. And Farrell gets another priceless 10 metres for the Leeds Rhinos.
The beauty of this running from the dummy half, playing the ball quickly, it makes sure that the St Helens defence will tire. They're having to work overtime in that second defensive line.
That was a great tackle from Wrong on Morley, but Leeds are still coming through with Powell to within 18 metres of the line. Powell, quick play the ball to Sheridan, and Sheridan will try and take them on up the middle. Sheridan stands, Powell is there, and Powell just lost his footing and was so close to a try. Sheridan spins the ball into the arms of Harris. Out wide, Saints are stretched. Cummings!
He blew it!
Held up short.
Why didn't we go on the outside in the first place? It was a superb pass from Harris. I can't believe that Cummings stepped as soon as he got the football. The overlap was there. He blew it big time.
Well, they had the overlap. Harris saw it, fired the pass out wide, and the opportunity is gone. But look at this terrier-like defence from Leeds. Do they want Old Trafford or what?
Look at the pass out wide. I just cannot believe that he stepped back inside. Smith was caught cold.
Knock on. The pressure of this elimination final is there for all to see. It was first knock on against Sullivan.
Lost control of it.
To Leeds.
Definitely lost control, even by the fact that Brad Gordon, it hit his body, bounced through. It's a correct decision. More pressure. Can they hold out, Saints?
Powell to Harris again. He gets away from Martin, he gets away from Aitchison, Joint and Sculthorpe. Harris out wide again to Francis Cummings. And Cummings, Leeds top scorer in the Super League, is tackled high again. It's Damien Smith once more, is it? Or was it Long this time?
They both went far too high. Both attacked the head. Frustration. There you see, Long's hand was already in the face. No swinging arm, but Damien Smith, well, that's a second occasion.
Well, it is. He's walking a very thin line now, Damien Smith. Referee spoke to him for the second time about a high shot in the opening 32.5 minutes.
Well, to be fair, the same official got criticised for taking matters into That game when New Love got sent off, of course, Bradley.
Kieran Cunningham receiving treatment. It would be a bitter blow if the Saints lost him. But another penalty and another opportunity here for St Helens. 3 out of 3 early, but he's missed the last 2. He's got his sights back this time. St Helens kicks Leeds into a 16-4 advantage. 2 converted tries then is the gap between the sides. We're approaching half-time.
Job well done as well by the Leeds Rhinos. They really have taken control of this game. They're bruising this St Helens side out of the match. And I think that St Helens, especially in the forwards, they realise they have got to step up a gear. They've got to try to stop the on-rushing Leeds forwards. They are taking so much advantage at that play the ball.
6 minutes to half-time. Shades here of 1995 when Leeds won a Premiership semi-final in those days, which took them on to Old Trafford. There they met Wigan. I won't bore the Leeds supporters and the viewers with the statistic of what happened the following week at Old Trafford, but it wasn't Leeds Day, let's say that. This is Davidson for St Helens, and these 2 sides, hammer and tongs, going for the grand final, which you can see next Saturday, 5:30, Sky Sports 1. The game, of course, as we've been telling you all year, kicks off at 6:30, and that's the information line number at Super League Europe's headquarters, open for business. First thing tomorrow, 0113 234 4455. Any information about that grand final?
Not a bad option by the halfback, Sean Long, but whilst Long was kicking the ball downfield, there was the limp inside of Kieran Cunningham. He really is not with it at the moment. He's suffering out there. Could be a leg injury. He does not look right at the moment.
Rivette takes it up bravely. Parolini got to him. Leeds, every time they have the football in hand, they try and inject some pace and some power with the forwards. Masella's still not tackled. Maybe he is. He surrendered himself there, just played the ball. Glanville on the burst.
Well, there you
tackled by Parolini.
There you see the Leeds, the Saints defence, they're hanging back.
Little kick over the top from Holroyd, but well read by Martin, who was then clattered by Farrell. There, that's the flop that they've got Farrell for, and much more he's had Powell.
He came in very late, didn't he? Anthony Farrell. Well, what a golden opportunity has been offered to Saints at 16-4.
Cunningham's gone. He is replaced by Carl Hammond. That's a huge blow to St Helens, and who knows, it could be a huge blow to Great Britain with the Test series looming. Scuffles almost through, hauled down by Morley. Hammond straight into the action. Dummy half. Here's Chris Joint. St Helens now looking to up the pace as we approach half-time. They're on the attack. Hammond dummy half again. Martin stabs it over the top. Was he instructed by Masella? No, says referee Stuart Cummins. Here's Harris.
Big hit there by Smith, and had to be. Well, it was difficult to find out whether Martin just actually run into the player. Remember, the defender doesn't have to move. He can stand his ground as long as he does not move towards the man who's just kicked the football. He's okay.
Glanville slips the pass.
Forward pass,
This
surely.
is Cummins. Cummins gets the 4. Stuart Cummins, the referee, watched and points, and Francis Cummins gets the try. Well, he missed one earlier, but he didn't miss that. He was on to that pass in a flash, and Cummins gets over for another 4 points for Leeds.
Well, it all came about with Martin trying to get over the top, and you could see there that Morley didn't have to move. He just stood, Masella, he stood his ground, and then the ball went across, but I think it may have been a bit forward this. Oh, that looked forward. They've got away with it yet again. A big cheer from the crowd underneath us here. And not surprisingly, good half break by the loose forward, Mark Glanville. But there has to be some doubt. There'll be no doubt about the try. They cannot go to it. but you'll see on this angle, that was forward by half a metre. Cummings had definitely got away. He just reached out in front. He won't care. Neither will the Leeds fans or the players.
St Harris then, to add, I suppose, if you're a St Helens supporter, insult to injury. That was the last thing that St Helens wanted right before the half-time siren. But Leeds streak into a 22 points to 4 advantage here at Headingley.
Let's watch it now from the high shot. Perhaps we'll see it. And that's forward.
But let's emphasise, Steve-O, the referee cannot ask the video ref to adjudicate on possible forward passes. That is down to the naked eye of touch judge and referee, and they missed it.
That's right. And to his credit, Cummings looked towards that left touch judge.
He lost that, Perellini.
Well, he's going from bad to worse at 22-4. Lose the football in your own goal area. Well, there was more than one man there, and I think there was a few arms in there.
Oh, someone said something to the referee, and he's given now a penalty to Leeds. Well,
Yeah, it's a penalty.
it's a penalty,
Yeah.
and I don't think Sean McRae is terribly impressed
Try Graham,
with the fact that somebody has said something out of turn to match referee Stuart Cummings, and that indiscipline could well cost St Helens another 2 points. From this range, Harris, well, you'd put your mortgage on him. He's been at the centre of some controversy in this playoff series, hasn't he, Stuart Cummings?
Sure has. But the first one, the Rivet try, Stuart Cummings had nothing to do with that. That was a video referee. And to be fair to the official, he did look for advice from the touch judge. Touch judge says it was A-OK. And as Eddie mentioned, he has to be guided from it. The referees, of course, they're back already the 10 metres away from the attacking side, so he couldn't see clearly.
So Harris, with this penalty attempt, just about bang in front. As I say, you'd put your house on St Harris getting this. And he's got the 2 points. Well, 24 points to 4 at half-time. There's the siren. A very, very productive 40 minutes for the Leeds Rhinos. And no wonder the supporters get to their feet. Just the Perellini try for St Helens, but 3 tries for Leeds, started by Rivet in the 2nd minute. Harris tagging on 3 goals. Glanville, another Harris penalty goal. Cummings with a try, maybe a hint of forward, and the final Harris penalty goal on the stroke of half-time. But Leeds given a dream start, courtesy of the nod of the video ref, and they have taken full advantage of that in the opening half. Too close to call, we said before the match, but the Rhinos believe that they now will be the ones facing Wigan at Old Trafford next week, and St Harris will be leading his men out at the Theatre of Dreams. Another big problem, of course, for St Helens is that during the course of that first half they lost their inspirational hooker Kieran Cunningham, and without him St Helens don't look the same side at times. That's a big job for Carl Hammond, who filled in for Cunningham during that first half. So 40 minutes away from the Old Trafford Grand Final next Saturday. Leeds get us underway, and Hitchison almost, well, he had his heart in his mouth then, I'm sure, as that ball bounced off his chest, but he managed to retain possession.
Well, just get into the swing of things, that's what the Saints coach Sean McRae will want, and then they have to start gambling. They have to start keeping this ball alive. They need to get back into this game oh so quickly.
Yes, they need to score first. And Joint with a break. Will they score first? He's got the speedsters out wide. Oh, Newlove has put it down. Joint's pass. There was a Leeds defender funneling back as well. I think he got in the way of Newlove, and the ball hit the deck.
Well, I'm not so sure he should have offloaded a little bit before that. Morley did so well to put himself in between the big centre, Paul Newlove, but I think that when Chris Joynt made that break, he would have been better served to offload and make sure that Newlove had plenty of space to move. He left it too late.
Well, as that ball hit the ground from Joynt's pass to Newlove, did the St Helens hopes of Old Trafford also founder here at Headingley? We shall see.
Full credit, though, to the big second rower, Adrian Morley. He got himself in a superb position.
Good kick downfield, Anthony Sullivan. He's been quiet tonight. Taking them on at the middle, the big men, but Farrell and Fleary getting to him. Must say, Steve, I don't wish to be churlish about this, but just watch these play the balls. That was fine from Aitchison, but so often in this match I've noticed the players just rolling the ball back underneath their foot.
Well, it's happened throughout the season. Let's hope that the official doesn't start penalising them now.
Newlove, how they want him to spark second half, and Cunningham limps his way down to the bench. That'll be bad news for Saints, but bad news also for Great Britain with the Test series to come. Great tackle there, though, by Glanville on Perolini. He is long. Now Scuffles.
Must say Glanville is having the game of his life tonight.
Oh, Fleary cleans out Sean Long.
Full credit to the little halfback, he bounced up.
Up and under there from Tommy Martin, that's all you can describe it as. It bounces, Saints have got it, well they did have Perolini and O'Neill making a bit of a meal of it. Mistake on the last tackle, turnover.
Well, again, they take the gamble, Leeds, allowing the ball to bounce. I know they got quite a big cushion there to 20 points, but...
Here goes St Helens just on at the start of this second half. Remember, this man was the saviour against Halifax a couple of weeks ago. Sheridan had time then to check and then find Harris. He flicks it out to Rivette, and Rivette's away from Sullivan, and Rivette scouts it about wide. Rivette with his second try. No doubts about that one. Sullivan was caught on his outside. Newlove gave up the ghost as well, and Rivette scooted over the line. And that could be the try that takes Leeds to the grand final next Saturday.
Only one word for this: sensational. Beautiful rugby league football. Harris, long ball yet again. Sullivan committed himself, you've got to make sure. But the in and out, it looks so easy, but it's all skill from that man. Leroy Rivette will remember this for a long, long time. In and out again, in and out again. Oh, the medicine, 2 doses for Saints. No coughing up there, he's smiling all the way. Sensational.
And Graham Murray, he took the decision to change the team and put Rivette on the wing for Paul Sterling. I asked him when he gave me the team yesterday whether Sterling was injured. No, he said, Sterling is out of the side. Rivette will give us a little bit more, maybe. Well, he's done it again, Graham Murray. He's come up with the match-winning change. And Harris adds the extras. 30 points to 4, just what Saints didn't want. But true tries for Leroy Rivette. The decision justified.
There you see Sullivan, he commits himself to it. The twinkle toes, in and out. That's part 1. Here's part 2, it's even better. In and out of Newlove. Outstanding. As I mentioned before, he will remember that for a long, long time.
He might have more to remember yet, because Leroy Rivette has certainly put his name in the frame for Old Trafford if Leeds now do get there. And they can even have the luxury of taking off someone like Adrian Morley and replacing with Andy Hay, and St Helens are gone to Gabbins.
Chris Smith there, you could see quite clearly he was looking at the on-rushing defenders. It just has not been Saints' night.
Harris, there's space for Harris to exploit. Now it's with Blackmore. Damien Smith got, Tommy Martin rather, got to him. This is Glanville, outstanding match from Glanville. Martin and Joynt in again. 5.5 minutes second half. First blood to Leeds in this second 40, just as it was early in the piece in the first half. Sheridan to Harris, to Holroyd. Holroyd gives it then to Andy Hay. Andy Hay with a great run. This is Godden. He's in touch, no try. gone to the screen. The touch judge has held the flag up. The touch judge has told him he was in touch, but Stuart Cummings wants everyone just to check or not.
Well, watch for the legs, that's important. The ball is on his way down.
This could be a try.
It is a try, and the referee has done well to overrule the touch judge. There you see quite clearly, they're very wide, is the whitewash here at Headingley. Extremely wide, and that is a damn fine call by the official, Stuart Cummings. Remember, he could not be faulted for the two dubious tries that were awarded to Leeds in the first half, and he's given Leeds the right option on this occasion. It's TRY.
Here's the decision. It's a try. And Brad Godden comes up with the 4. The touch judge was convinced he was over the line before he touched it down. Stuart Cummings wasn't so sure, and he handed it on to the video ref, and the try is awarded.
Well worked. Watch Andy Hay come back on the inside. There's a dummy. Oh, superb. Notice how they used the dummy runner first, and then Hay came back. He offloaded well, did Hay. Godden had to go into the corner. Superb build-up. Holroyd back on the inside. Hay! And then the offload. They're playing superb rugby league football at Leeds. Crowd are loving it, so am I. I'm sure you, the viewers at home, are doing exactly the same. Not perhaps if you're a Saints fan, though.
Brad Godden gets the try then. A try in the win at St Helens in May. And of course, he was with the Hunter Mariners last year. So Brad Godden's try, tight to the touchline. What a good call from Stuart Cummings. Harris tries to sweep the conversion over, but doesn't make it. But 34 points to 4, Leeds with an overwhelming advantage now.
Great to see the build-up there. See how they hesitate yet again. Holroyd back on the inside, one dummy runner. Haykame's leg, back. Oh, I can watch that all night.
That's the touch judge's view, though, Steve-O, and he had the flag up. But Stuart Cummings was coming round the back of the in-goal area, and he wasn't 100% convinced. And it's down to Stuart Cummings at the end of the day, isn't it?
Certainly is. Apart from those two decisions that we spoke about in the first half, but full credit to him. He's taken a bit of flack over the past couple of weeks as the official, Stuart Cummings. Well, he deserves a pat on the back on that one.
Yes, Leeds will be happy with that. Leeds will be happy with one or two of the decisions in the first half as well. 34 points to 4. Well, it was slide rule time for everybody in predicting the way this game would go, but I don't think anybody, Steve-O, expected Leeds to run out 34-4 with not even 10 minutes of the second half gone.
Well, they've just been blitzed. St Helens have been absolutely battered and bruised off the park in the first half. And some of the Leeds players being quite outstanding. And we made that point, Eddie, last week in regards to where on earth had Graham Holroyd gone. Well, I tell you where he's come. He's come onto the substitutes bench and added that extra bit of class. It was Holroyd's skill that created that last try.
Well, we've had 2 tries at the start of this second half, so a little belatedly, but we're heading down to pitch side and joining Angela Powers for the half-time news.
Well, the news seems to be going from bad to worse for St Helens. Kieran Cunningham, who was taken off in the first half, has pulled or damaged a cartilage in training on Thursday. It's ballooned up again with a tackle here, and it looks as though he won't play this half, the second half, and he might even be in doubt for the test series. It looks a really bad injury. Graham Murray apparently is very happy with the way his side are playing, no doubt, and wants them to carry on as they are. Sean McRae said he's a bit lost for words with the way his team are playing. He says this could be the last half of 40 minutes of rugby that his team will play this season, and they're playing like it's the last of their career, or at least he wants them to play like it's the last of their career. He wants to see them showing more dominance in this second half.
Scuffles showed a little bit of spirit there, but he's outstripped for pace by St Helens. The substitute got back and cut out any danger there.
Good work, though, by Scullthorpe. Took a long time, Holroyd. Cummings on the run. What a time, what a great run.
Oh,
what a great tackle.
Aitchison with a super tackle, copybook stuff. Leeds making a change, and it's Jamie Matthews on, and Harris has broken the cover. Flicks it back to Andy Hay. Hay trying to go over the fallen bodies. This is Harris again. Smith can't get to him, keeps the ball alive. Godden now. Godden.
Back to 6.
Glanville. Yes, 6 to go. Glanville has seen the sign. Matautia gets to him. That's the 0 tackle. They've got bags of time left. Sheridan to Matthew.
Villa, get up,
Well, will they just go for more points, or will they be happy with a drop goal? No, they're keeping this ball alive.
Oh, beautiful pass. This is Cummins. He gets another. His second for Francis Cummins. The try took some scoring. It needed a brave dive in the end, but it was set up for him by another bullet pass from St Helens. 20 tries for the season now. Cummins took a bang as he scored and touched down. But another 4 points to the Leeds cause. Touch of concussion maybe, or perhaps winded.
We said before the game that it perhaps could come down to the skills of St Helens to be the difference between the two sides. On this occasion, Cummins did the right thing. Bombed the try in the first half by doing exactly the same here. But you see the step. He knew that both cover defenders were over. Aitchison could do nothing about that. Caught a high one up field from Aitchison. Twinkle toes. Hit the shoulder first, but definitely went into the face of Cummins in the end, and that's the reason why he's a little bit groggy. But a fine effort there from Cummins.
What a season Francis Cummins has had. Just checking that everything's all right with the jawbone. Another 4 points to Francis Cummins' season, 20th try of the year. Taking the applause of the Leeds support, and why not? It has been a magnificent effort from him this year. Well, Leeds on a roll now. And Harris with yet another conversion attempt. A 70% success rate tonight. He's given it a good thump that just shaves the upright. So, St Helens misses the conversion, but it's 38 points to 4 in Leeds' favour.
This is the quality of the man. Look at that. Misses out 2 men out wide. Bullet pass. Wham! Could see there that the wing had committed himself. Twinkle toes did enough. Nothing was going to stop him. Not even the wallop in the face from the fullback Aitchison was going to deny Francis Cummins, who, as Eddie just mentioned, has had a quite superb season. And it may well not be over, not just the grand final. He certainly has worked his way into contention for the British side, surely.
There's no doubt about that. He's in the Great Britain squad.
That'll be a penalty.
It's against New Zealand, of course. Great Britain against New Zealand, the first test, the 31st of October. That match is to be played at Huddersfield, the McAlpine Stadium, and the information line at the Rugby Football League, 0113 232 911, and they are open for business first thing in the morning as well. Great test series to come after the grand final next week. Mark Glanville off, Darryl Powell returns to the fray. There he is. What a fairy tale it will be for Darryl Powell when Leeds run out at Old Trafford next week, because with a 34-point advantage, Steve-O, there's no stopping the Rhinos now.
Little doubt about that. It's the fashion. Davidson's away.
He is, Davidson. Oh, St Hilaire does well, but he stands, waits for the support. Smith, oh! Great tackle back by Godden.
What a superb effort by the Australian. Godden, well.
Chris Smith was celebrating his first try in 10 weeks.
Beautiful break there by Paul Davidson. Well, it was all over, bar the shouting, but he'd lost it. I don't think even Godden got to it. I think Smith, perhaps, lost control. Either way, Godden put the pressure on.
Oh, I think we give credit to Godden for that.
Yeah, Godden went right underneath, and from that angle, you're right, Eddie. What a tremendous effort, wasn't it? Well, you're right. Chris Smith, he thought that was 4.
Oh, Perolini's not giving it in. That ball was stolen by Andy Hay. It's a two-man tackle, it's not allowed.
Well, that's been one of the features from the Leeds defence, their ability to really bruise it out. Saints really have not got into the swing of things in this game.
Matautia getting St Helens on the very first tackle to within a few metres of the line. Here's Long. Long, it goes into the arms of Joint, and he's picked out by Richie Blackmore. What a big game Blackmore's had tonight. Here goes Scuffles.
That'll be back to 6. Harris went right into it.
It is. Another 6 tackles here on offer for St Helens. Long just lost the foot as Farrell came in for the kill. This is Tommy Martin. Here now is Carl Hammond. He pops it up to Davidson. Hammond again. Martin flicks it back to Matautia. Matautia, big strong run. Leary did well. Hammond again. Back it goes to Joint. Here's Martin. He showed it. Martin trying to go round. Harris flicks the ball back in field, and Fleary's the first to react.
Well, you can't blame Saint for trying to keep this ball alive. The big prop forward, Darren Fleary, picked it up, slipped at the wrong moment. Perhaps he thought, oh, I'm away for a 50-yarder. Tommy Martin keeping it alive. That's all they've got left now, I'm afraid, Saints. Of course, the big problem for Leeds now, they're well and truly on their way to Old Trafford next weekend, that they do not do anything silly.
Godden was away, stopped by Smith, but what a bonus for Graham Murray. He has been able to take off the 3 injured men who were so much in doubt prior to this elimination final. Glanville, Morley and Masella. He's able now to take them off with a quarter and more of the game to go and rest them with next week in mind. Tommy Martin did well.
Realised that possession was vital for them. Well, that should be a penalty, and it's not a sin bin. That was a professional foul there. Oh, that says it all, doesn't it?
I think Sean Long should have been the dummy runner. It's not been St Helens' night tonight.
Chris Joint was hoping to receive it. He got underway. Things have just not gone right for them, but...
Not from the very first minute, Steve-o.
But mainly brought about by the fact that Leeds' defence has been quite awesome. They've really put themselves about, including one of those guys who went into the game with an injury doubt, the loose forward, Mark Glanville. He's been everywhere. Oh, it's catching. Not happy with that, Harris. He thought it went backwards. I think he's right.
Not the best, though, from Iestyn Harris. He's got a 34-point cushion, so he can afford a little smile. But there'll be no 34-point cushion, I don't think, at Old Trafford. I might be wrong, but I doubt it somehow.
That'll be a knock-on. Tommy Martin will be deemed to have lost control of that, trying to convince the official that there was 2 men in there. Well, they didn't go for the ball, did they? Powell definitely went for the ball-carrying arm. It's always difficult for any referee.
Well, Andy Goodway is watching this match, and I'm afraid 1 or 2 of the St Helens players, who were hoping to push their way into the Great Britain squad. Tommy Martin, one of them, obviously. Anthony Sullivan, another. They have not had the best of nights. It's not been their evening, although they have done so well in the playoffs to date.
Well, the thing is, they've always been going backwards, and they've also been going backwards in defence, which you cannot afford to do against this rampaging Leeds side, who have been quick and eager to get on with things, play the ball quickly, turn in the tackle and offload.
Harris picks up the ball, went backwards. Here goes Harris. Aitchison's after him, flicks it back to Sheridan. Sheridan puts it down. Perolini will relaunch for St Helens.
Just didn't have the legs there, the fullback Iestyn Harris, but again, it shows you the skills that this Welsh fella has. Through the dummy, made a break. He really has been a thorn in the side of Saints' defence. But they can look at themselves and say they've held back. They've been watching to see what he was doing. Again, the defence there, picked out Davidson well.
Great tackle by Andy Hay.
Oh, kick out there by Davidson. Right in the groin at Hay. He wouldn't like that I can assure you.
Need to reverse that blood bin. Terry Newton's back. There he is, number 21, hunting Chris Joint. Last chance for Paul Davidson to impress at the end of this season. Kick downfield, just finds touch from Carl Hammond. Another man, of course, on his way to pastures new. He will be at London next year. But under which coach, we wait to see. Tony Curry having quit for personal reasons before the weekend.
Evidently it's between two, Mark Murray, the Queenslander, or Les Kiss, the former North Sydney winger. We'll have to wait and see about that one, but the most important factor is that Saints are struggling to keep this Leeds outfit from adding even more points. It's been a wonderful effort, though, by the Rhinos tonight.
Certainly has. We're in the last quarter of this game, and has a man of the match appeared in your view at home? Vote now on 0891 33 33 13. Last chance for 2 grand final tickets, and last chance also for the draw for the VIP box that our special guest John Money will make at the end of this game here at Headingley. Holroyd now up the middle. Escapes the clutches of Aitchison. Off the deck from Holroyd to Newton. Here comes Sheridan now. Leeds are rampant at the moment. This is Leroy Rivett. Rivett is tracked back by Paul Newlove. Now Harris again. Another long pass. Pinpoint accuracy to Hay. Hay trying to go round Davidson. Such strength from Hay, still not finished. Now he is. That's the last for Leeds.
Certainly made an impact.
That was an untidy play of the ball as well.
Andy Hay made a huge impact since he came off the bench. That's an awkward kick.
Off the hands of Leroy Rivett and out. That'll be a St Helens ball then. On the turnover.
Good option there. You could see the Leeds man got to it first. Therefore it'll be on the last, so it'll be the turnover. Well, there's plenty of stars out there for Leeds, but it's been a workmanlike performance, leading the way yet again. Daryl Powell with his defence, and one guy didn't get many accolades, but he has worked his socks off tonight, and that's a little halfback Ryan Sheridan. He really has worked hard. He's made things tick out there.
He has. He's had a big game in a team that has been in rampant form, and they have come back so well from the setback at Central Park last weekend. Joint to Aitchison. Big hit. Here's Joint again.
Full credit to Saints. At least they're trying to keep this ball alive.
There's the telling statistic for you, Steve-O. 20 missed tackles by the Saints.
And the big problem there is that most of them have come in and around the play the ball area.
Hat to head. Chances here for Anderson. Well picked up by Damien Smith. Referee will give it to the video ref. Offside or onside, that's the decision. No problem with the grounding. Damien Smith believes he scored the try.
Super skills from Tommy Martin. Touch and go.
Well, there were 2 kicks, weren't there?
That's the first one. I think he may... it's hard to decide.
Certainly onside there.
Yeah. Or is he? Oh, well, 50-50. They'll probably give the benefit of the doubt. I must say, Lady Luck has not been shining towards the Saints tonight on several occasions, but I think this should be okay.
Damien Smith has probably capped his last appearance for Saints with a try, and he has. On the nod of the video referee, Damien Smith, leaving the club at the end of the season, and the end of the season now must be less than a quarter of an hour away.
Well, full credit to the standoff, Tommy Martin. He certainly wanted to show his skills.
Sean Long misses. Not been a good night with the boot for Sean Long. Not been a good night for St Helens at all.
Still got the skills, though. Tommy Martin over the top. Leeds having no sweeper there. You could see that Holroyd was well and truly way back. Well picked up by the Australian centre, Damien Smith, who's had a torrid evening.
That's sailing out, is it? No, off the arms of Davidson. Davidson, I think on the line, is out.
Well, you can't blame the lad for continuing on. You play on until the referee blows a whistle. And that's what he did.
Well, maybe did the ball go the 10 metres forward?
No.
And that's why the penalty was given on the halfway line then.
Correct.
Clear! Come on, fellas,
Quarter of an hour to go. Leeds coming forward again with Fleary.
Well, this is a point where Leeds can...
Matautia
throw one in. Well, we said that the last thing that Leeds players want to do now is to lose their cool, do anything stupid.
Back out, fellas. Okay.
Still at it. Matautia and Fleary. Well, Fleary must get a grip of himself because there's a grand final to play next Saturday night, for goodness sake.
Well,
The last thing he wants is to be red carded.
Well, I think that Stuart Cummings will just give them a bit of a tick off.
Oh, well, they're eyeballing each other, those two.
Concerned look on the face of the coach, Graham Murray, rightly so. Well, Matautia went in, and you can see that it was the first one.
It was right on the noggin of Fleary.
Fleary started it. I don't know why, when you've got a scoreline at 38-8 and you're cruising towards the first ever grand final.
Penalty goes for Leeds.
Right, referee has took the report from his touch judge, and Vila Matautia takes 10 minutes in the sin bin.
Well, Mr. Fleary surely should go.
That's why they're going. All right, away he goes. Okay, the first offence was by St Helens. All right, Darren, go on 10 minutes.
Well, both of them are going.
But the officials got it wrong. It always seems to be the retaliator that gets penalised again. But you can see on the replay that Darren Fleary threw a little short one.
Yes, he had the first flick.
Not according to the referee. That's why the penalty is being given to Leeds.
Well, they're rising to Darren Fleary on the touchline as he takes his place in the sin bin.
Well, you'll see here they were trying to rough him up anyway.
Bob.
Well, that's the one that you could see from Matautia, but before that, just a little niggly one into the face of Vila Matautia.
Leeds have the penalty.
Look after himself. It actually stopped what he did in the first place.
Harris
Nothing, but he started again after
bang in front. Referee continuing the discussion with Darryl Powell as Iestyn Harris adds 2 more points to Leeds and his personal tally.
2 extra points really doesn't make any difference, but I'm sure that Graham Murray will have seen this. It was the first one. Matautia, head goes back, and I think that Darren Fleary will not be coming back. If I was the Leeds coach, I'd say, you've done your business, Mr. Fleary. I need you for the grand final.
Well, there's no point taking a risk, is there?
Well, I certainly wouldn't, not at that scoreline.
Just over 12 minutes to go. 12 minutes, and Sean McRae will start clearing his desk and packing his bags for Gateshead. But he has done wonderfully well to get St Helens to this far, and of course Saints now will be deemed to have finished 3rd. They will get 3rd placed prize money in the grand final shakeout.
Been a great defensive effort this from Leeds, and I'm sure that Graham Murray will be ever so pleased with it.
Well, he knows they have to repeat it and then some next Saturday evening against Wigan at Old Trafford. But it will do their confidence the power of good, this. I wonder what John Money's making of it all as well. 40 points to 8 against the Saints is quite a hiding. It's quite a victory to take with you to Old Trafford, this. But Steve-O, we're already licking our lips, aren't we, in the prospect of a 4th meeting between the big 2 this year. Can Leeds do it again? Can they beat Wigan 3 times in 1998?
Well, we've got the Wigan coach in the studio. Why don't we ask him?
Do you think he's going to say yes?
All I know is that John Money will be more than happy for Saints to get a little bit tougher in the final minutes.
Here's Martin. Now it's Perolini. Perolini hangs on.
Playing for a shepherd there.
Well, there's one or two frustrated members of the St Helens fraternity out there, and some of these Leeds players want to get to Old Trafford, of course.
Offside.
Offside against Brad Godden.
Came off Cummins.
That should have been a penalty against Godden for this. Kicks the ball away, a sign of petulance.
Well, they got the penalty in the end, and silly for Godden to kick the ball away like that.
This is New Love to Sullivan, and Sullivan gets another. Well, he will take no consolation from that at all, but it's his 24th try of 1998. He's had a prolific season, Super League's top try scorer, but I'm afraid that for Saints tonight is too little and too late.
First opportunity that the golden pairs have been called over the past few weeks. Newlove and Sullivan combined, and you could see there that Sullivan just had that space. Rivett couldn't get to him. Nice try, but as Eddie mentioned, sheer consolation.
Sean Long hasn't kicked a goal all night. Oh, and he hit the post this time. He's getting closer. 40 points to 12. Long might be getting closer, but Saints now and Sean McRae are a mile away from Old Trafford. I think we can safely say that it is Wigan against Leeds in the grand final next Saturday at 5:30 on Sky Sports 1. The big question, can Leeds beat Wigan for a third time this year? John Money is our guest in the studio. John, can they beat you 3 times in 98?
Well, I certainly hope not. They've had a good night tonight, but I think tonight's shown us that St Helens just don't tackle good enough for this type of football, and it's good to see that the best 2 teams are the 2 teams that are left standing for the grand final.
We all say here to that. We'll talk to you later, John. Thanks very much. And there's a fight on out of your screens at the moment. The touch judge is on, and all the players are moving in. And it's frustration for St Helens, but Leeds must not be dragged into this. Leeds must not be dragged into this.
Well, it's
I think Aitchison is involved.
Scuffles was
claiming
there.
the use of an elbow. And I'm just trying to work, is it Terry Newton who was involved with the punch-up? He's got blood off the nose. Well,
it's amazing, isn't it? You mentioned the fact that the coach, Graham Murray, would have said, don't do anything stupid. Things are getting a little bit petulant out there. Oh, was that a little bit of a kick there from Newton? I hope not. Well, it went into the chest.
Well, I think yes.
The elbow went into the chest. Aitchison objected to that. Aitchison thought perhaps it did finish high, but the impact from Terry Newton
there's a card coming out.
Was on the chest. I don't think he lunged.
No, I think Terry Newton's on report for the first offence.
So
10 minutes for Terry Newton, but I think we heard the referee saying the whole incident's going on report, and there are fingers being pointed and fingers being wagged, and Aitchison's gone to the sin bin as well. He's covered in blue paint.
Well, he's bringing joint across now is Stuart Cummings.
The whole job lot is on report. And hang on, I think we're down to 11 men aside.
Yeah, it's going on. It's going on.
Well, the disciplinary will have to watch this, I think.
By Leeds. Both players started fighting, so we'll put on report, okay? We'll have a look at it later. That's going on report. Penalty's back here. Where is it? Here.
Now, who's going to get the penalty?
St Helens.
To St Helens, and this is what the disciplinary committee will look at.
Well, Stuart Cummins says we'll have a look at it later. We'll have a look now.
Thanks, Dave.
The impact there.
Back on the line. Back.
Well, the elbow definitely went into the shoulder.
Yeah.
I can't see really too much damage being done there.
New Love, hauled down by St Helens and by Harris. Well, the next 6 minutes now for Leeds are absolutely critical, bearing in mind the grand final next Saturday night. Surely Graham Murray will hopefully get a message out to his players just to take it easy. Mind you, it's easy, I suppose, to say that from the sideline when you're not getting biffed and backed about.
Well, it's silly for the man carrying the football to get involved. You can control it that way.
This is Scuffles now. Harris all wrapped up. Joint out wide it goes to Newlove, and Newlove gets over. More consolation for St Helens. Try given. Paul Newlove gets the try, and there's everybody getting involved in shaking of heads and wagging of fingers. They've almost forgotten that Newlove's got the 4 points.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? It's usually Saints that chip in the points late in the game. It's surprising to see Leeds doing it. Perhaps their minds well and truly on Old Trafford. They know that they're there. But hesitation. Good effort, though, from Newlove. He's very strong indeed. 5 at an attempt to stop him. They couldn't.
Now Sean Long from similar position as before. Has he got the distance right this time? No. Hasn't kicked one tonight. 4 tries. That's the 16 for Saints, but 40 for Leeds. And Graham Murray has told his players to try and calm it down. That's the news we're getting from Angela Powers on the touchline. 4 minutes. That's a big 4 minutes now for Leeds. Andy Hay did well.
Up the jumper time now. Runs from dummy half.
Long went a little high. Godden wants to get on with it, though. Full marks to the Australian.
Well, to be fair to Sean Long, I thought that went across the chest.
Well, anything that's questionable now, Steve-O, will be penalised.
Well, I apologise to Mr. Godden, because it was just over the top of the shoulder.
Is it still 11 aside, by the way? Have we got the abacuses out?
Well, I'm trying to find out who's in each corner. That's the thing that they should be worrying about.
Okay, he's down now. Get up, get up, get up, get up.
Graham Murray's on the touchline now. He's most anxious. The last thing he wants is to see a red card brandished out there by Stuart Cummings.
Wait.
The first 2 out of the sin bin are back. Fleary and Matautia, so we're to 12 aside as Godden flicks it out wide, and Cummings had just overrun it.
And he apologises, I think, Francis Cummings there, for not standing well back. We saw the skills there of Brad Godden, which we've seen throughout this season. See how he just sucks in Sean Long. And if Cummings had have held back an extra 2 meters, it would have been a simple 4-pointer. It's been one of the features throughout this season in Super League, is the outstanding play by Brad Godden. It really has been a revelation here for the Rhinos.
He's played really well. Sean McRae has shaken Graham Murray by the hand, and of course he knows he has to bow to the inevitable. And so we're watching the last 2.5 minutes of Sean McRae's reign at Knowsley Road, which has reaped rich rewards for the St Helens club.
Well,
a championship, 2 Challenge Cups, and they've never finished, I don't think, below 3rd in his reign.
Been a great effort by Sean McRae, but I think you'll be the first to admit that it wasn't just a case of Saints not performing on the night. They were not allowed to perform. The Leeds defence have been outstanding.
Well, his team finished 4th after the weekly rounds, but by dint of the fact that they have lost this elimination final here at Headingley, St Helens now would be judged to have finished 3rd in Super League. They will pick up the 3rd placed prize check. And this is Fleary. Back it goes to Holroyd. Holroyd out wide to Godden. Cummings is out there. He must score. He must score, and he does. And Cummings grabs a hat-trick as Leeds claim their place at Old Trafford. They will travel to Manchester in fine heart, and so will Francis Cummings. 21 tries for the man who turned 22 this week, and the chance to add more to his total at the Theatre of Dreams next Saturday night.
Well, I'll remember this for a long time. The prop forward, Fleary. Foul, should I say, getting the ball away. I think it was Fleary that goes through the gap. It is, and Fleary's look at saying, I'm through. Come on, help. And they did. All right, he's played his part. Godden yet again, and the step superb again, off that left foot. Done it so often throughout the season. Pays off again for that man. Francis Cummins, hat-trick time. Is that a big night?
He has, they all have. 8 out of 12 for Harris. 13, unlucky for some. 44-16. And that's the way it will stay. So 8 from 13 for Iestyn Harris. 5 misses. You get the feeling that maybe Iestyn Harris must kick 100% at Old Trafford next Saturday night. That's 80 minutes. There's the siren. And the seedings have worked out. We've got the top 2 in Super League going head-to-head at Old Trafford next Saturday night. Leeds have made it. Their joy is there for all to see. Home advantage playing such an important part at the end of the day. 24 points to 4 at half-time, 44 points to 16 at the end. Graham Murray has done it for Leeds. He's got them to the grand final, where they will take on Wigan at Old Trafford next Saturday night. They will drink in this moment for quite a while. Saints exit stage left. Leeds know that they have one more bridge to cross, and that comes at Old Trafford next Saturday night. Last time they will grace Headingley in 1998. Graham Murray will lead his men out. And is 1998 to be the year of the Rhino at Old Trafford next Saturday evening? Leeds have won the Academy Grand Final against Wigan earlier on today. Their youngsters are top of the tree. Will the senior squad claim similar glory next Saturday? So we have 80 minutes to go before we find out who are Super League's top dogs in 1998. Wigan will play Leeds live on Sky Sports next Saturday from 5:30. And Iestyn Harris will be just there behind Graham Murray as the two sides come out up the players' tunnel. And what a season it's been for Harris, and what a season it has been for the Leeds Rhinos. But who's the man of the match, and what's more,